My mother passed when I was like 8 years old. I went to live with my grandparents. And she had me when she was 15.
Playing like that, going like that. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama.
After 50 Cent threw up that wild photo of T.Y.'s wife on IG, King Harris snapped back in the most disrespectful way you could imagine. He posted a picture of 50's mom's grave and told him to go dig her up.
So tell your dead mama dig her ass up and post a picture that look better than my motherfucking mama. What wrong with you?
That wasn't just a clapback, that was straight up crossing the line. And let's be real, 50 is not the type to ignore something like that. If you know his history, you already know he keeps receipts and never forgets. So now he's coming at King Harris hard over that grave post, and the situation is turning messy real quick. Here's how it all popped off. On February 22nd, 2026, 50 Cent jumped on Instagram and posted a photo of Tiny Harris performing on stage. But this wasn't some flattering concert pic. The angle looked wrong, the lighting was harsh, and the shot felt picked on purpose to make her look bad. And knowing 50's trolling style, that felt very intentional. He didn't toss it on his story where it disappears in 24 hours either. He planted it right on his main feed where it stays forever, letting the whole internet zoom in, screenshot, and talk crazy in the comments whenever they feel like it. The caption said, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth." Okay, no tags, no long rant, no extra explanation, just that short line. And everybody knew that was a direct shot at T.I.
By disrespecting T.I.'s family, more specifically T.I.'s wife, Tiny. 50 took to Instagram and posted a not so flattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny.
No confusion about it at all. Here's what makes it crazier. Tiny hadn't even said a word about 50 Cent. She wasn't on a podcast dropping his name. She wasn't in anybody's comments throwing shade. She wasn't even slightly involved in the back and forth drama. This was 50 using her photo like a chess piece just to get at her husband, all because T.I. kept bringing up the Verzeus talks.
And she looks like, you know, in a bad angle, and her body looks a little off. It's like a bad angled photo.
Now let's clear something up about Tiny Harris. She is not just T.I.'s wife. She's a founding member of Escape, one of the biggest R&B groups of the 90s. They were dominating the charts with hits like Just Kicking It and Who Can I Run To. Tiny's been grinding in this industry for over 30 years. She built her own name, secured her own money, created her own legacy, and even had successful TV shows. And 50 boiled all that down to one unflattering picture just to be petty. And that little shrug emoji at the end, that was the slick part.
50, he posts a picture of Tiny, and he says, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth," and puts up like a shrug emoji and says, "Okay."
He played it off like it was nothing, like blasting another man's wife to 30 million followers was just casual work, like he could hit post and go make a sandwich without thinking twice. But that move sparked something serious. The internet started buzzing fast, and within hours, T.I.'s oldest son caught wind of it. King Harris, only 21 at the time, didn't fire back with a meme.
I want to say something about my mama. Your mama dead as Your mama dead as
He didn't drop a cryptic caption. He went straight for the jugular.
Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. She dead. Pay respect.
King slid into the comments under 50's post with something short, sharp, and direct. King jumped in the comments and wrote, "Where you mama?" with the eyes emoji. And if you know anything about 50 Cent's past, you already know why that hit different. 50's mother, Sabrina Jackson, passed away in 1983 when he was just 8 years old. She was taken from him way too soon, and King dragged that painful history straight into the spotlight for everybody to see.
Post my mama like your mama ain't dead as Go put some flowers on that grave.
But he didn't stop there. King went over to his own Instagram and posted a photo of Sabrina Jackson's headstone. Her name was right there along with her birth year, 1958, and the year she passed, 1983. He tagged 50 Cent directly and wrote, "Yo, and dig up your mama." Another caption read, "This where your mama at." It was loud, bold, and impossible to ignore. Then he jumped in his car, hit record, and went off on multiple Instagram stories. No script, no calm tone, just raw emotion pouring out.
Man, posting my mama, legend, your mama, Jay.
Story after story, he kept pressing the issue. He even reposted the headstone again with the caption, "Hey 50 Cent, this is where you mama at?" He was doubling down, not backing off at all. At that point, the line was clearly drawn. 50 posted Tiny. King responded with something deeply personal. And once family gets pulled into it like that, there's no pretending it's just internet jokes anymore.
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and them talk back there, bro.
Who lost his mama at 8 years old to go dig her up out the ground, man? F my mama, mama, legend, yo mama. That's how wild it sounded. In one single night, this whole situation flipped from petty internet trolling to some of the most personal, below-the-belt disrespect hip-hop has seen in a long time. And the craziest part, all of this chaos traces back to something that was supposed to be positive. A Versus battle that was meant to celebrate music, nothing more, nothing less.
We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, what you think about this? Like,
instead of classic hits and legendary moments, it turned into straight hostility. The Versus that never happened is really where this tension started. The root of the issue goes back to a conversation that allegedly happened in Los Angeles between T.I. and 50 Cent. According to T.I., they were both out in L.A. working on TV and film deals, moving in similar circles when somebody brought up the idea of them facing off in Versus.
I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up.
T.I. said they talked about it face to face and came to an understanding about how it would go down. But after that, he claims 50 basically disappeared on him like the convo never even happened. Ty later broke the whole story down on the $1 Million worth of game with G Herbo and Wallow 267. He walked through it step by step. He said the original vision was simple. Two Southern veterans celebrating their catalogs. No drama, no slick shots, just hit records, real bars, and respect for the culture. T.I. explained how everything went down when they were out in LA, pitching shows, locking in deals, and moving around in professional spaces together. This wasn't random internet talk. This was business conversations happening face to face. The way T.I. tells it, 50 Cent was fully on board with the idea. They supposedly mapped out a clear plan. T.I. would step out first and publicly call 50 out for a Versus battle. Then 50 would back it up, co-sign it in public, and they'd roll the whole thing out smooth from there. Simple move, clean execution, that was the blueprint. So T.I. said he handled his part. He pulled up on Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and brought 50's name straight into the conversation. He made it clear he wanted that smoke in a Versus format and even hinted that 50 might be dodging it. But once T.I. stepped out like they agreed, 50 allegedly switched up. No cosign, no acknowledgement, nothing. He acted like no private convo ever happened and played it off like T.I. was just randomly chasing attention. That's when T.I.'s frustration stopped being about music and started feeling personal. That's when it stopped being frustration about Versus and started being frustration about 50 Cent's character as a man. For T.I., the whole vibe shifted. It wasn't about stepping on stage anymore. It became about integrity. If 50 didn't want to do the battle, that's fine. Just say that openly. Keep it real, but don't agree behind closed doors and then act brand new when the cameras come on. That's what rubbed him the wrong way. You could hear how deep it hit him. Ty basically said he went from wanting to share a stage with 50 Cent to wanting absolutely nothing to do with him at all. Not as collaborators, not as peers, not even as two men who could stand in the same room without tension. Then T.I. dropped a line that spread across blogs and comment sections for weeks. The internet grabbed it and ran wild. But from 50's side, the picture looked different. He had been publicly brushing off the Versus idea for years. He called Versus something that made sense during the pandemic, but not beyond that. He made it clear he was focused on bigger business moves, TV shows, films, brand deals. He hasn't released an album since 2014, and music isn't his main hustle anymore. That chapter, in his eyes, was already closed. 50's responses to T.I.'s callouts were classic 50, short, cold, and loaded with that trolling energy he's known for. He kept posting, "Keep my name out your mouth" all over Instagram, tossing in that shrug emoji like none of it mattered. Meme after meme, slick caption after slick caption, all designed to make T.I. look desperate for attention from someone who supposedly didn't care at all. But it got even messier when 50 Cent started throwing around the rat label in comments. In street terms, that's heavy. That kind of accusation isn't light talk where they come from, and I was not about to let that slide.
I was supposed to go, and then goddamn, when I was talking to Swiss, you know, I was like, man, yeah.
He fired back fast, writing, "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork right." Then he basically told 50 to either step into the Versus ring or be quiet. By the time February 22nd rolled around, this beef had been simmering for weeks. Podcast interviews, comment section battles, subliminal shots flying back and forth. What was supposed to be a Versus moment celebrating two legendary catalogs had now turned into a feud ugly enough to pull family members into it. People who had nothing to do with the original issue. And to understand why King Harris's response made so many people uncomfortable, you have to know the history behind Sabrina Jackson. This isn't just about a public figure's parent who passed peacefully and had a quiet farewell. This is a much deeper, more painful chapter, and that's why the reaction was so strong. This isn't just gossip. This is about a woman who lost her life and her case was never solved. Sabrina Jackson was born around 1958 in the South Jamaica section of Queens, New York City. She gave birth to Curtis Jackson, the man the world now knows as 50 Cent. And she was only about 15 years old when she became a mother. From the very start, she was doing it on her own. No partner, no co-parent, just a teenage girl in one of the toughest neighborhoods in the city, trying to make sure her son stayed fed and safe every single day. That kind of pressure changes a person fast. To keep food on the table and a roof overhead, Sabrina got involved in the street hustle in her area. This was South Jamaica, Queens, during the late 70s and early 80s, a time when the crack era was hitting neighborhoods hard. Opportunities for a young single mother in that environment were limited. She chose the path that she believed would provide because survival came first. Over the years, 50 has spoken many times about how his mother raised him, and the picture is always the same. He describes her as strong, disciplined, and fearless. No soft parenting, no babying. She ran her home with authority, just like she handled everything else around her. That toughness shaped him in ways the public can still see today. In his own words, she was both his mother and his father. 50 Cent has shared stories about how tough she was raising him. He once said she would stuff toys into socks so he could use them to protect himself in schoolyard fights, her way of making sure her son could stand his ground in a rough environment. He also told a story about a time when young Curtis was crying on the floor, and Sabrina told him to get up and stop acting soft. That was her style. That was the only way she knew how to prepare him for the world around them. It wasn't gentle, but in her mind, it was survival training. Then in 1983, everything changed. Sabrina Jackson lost her life at just 24 or 25 years old. Curtis was only 8. The way she died still sits heavy, and the case has never been solved, even after more than 4 decades. According to 50's repeated interviews, going back to the mid-2000s, someone allegedly slipped something into Sabrina's drink inside her apartment, causing her to lose consciousness. After that, the gas was reportedly turned on deliberately. She passed away due to carbon monoxide exposure and the fire that followed. When authorities arrived, the scene was treated as a suspected homicide right away because the circumstances pointed to intentional harm. No one was ever arrested, no suspect was ever publicly named, and that unanswered chapter has followed 50 for his entire life. King Harris is 21 years old. His full name is Clifford King Harris Jr., and he's the eldest biological son of T.Y. and Tamaka Tiny Harris. Born August 26, 2004, in Atlanta, Georgia, he has never lived a single day outside the spotlight because of the empire his parents built around their family. He grew up with cameras in his face. From the moment T.I. and Tiny, the family hustle premiered in 2011, King was right there on screen. He watched his dad handle rap beefs, legal issues, business moves, and public pressure, all while reality TV crews filmed inside their home. At the same time, he saw his mom celebrated as a founding member of Escape, one of the coldest R&B groups of the 90s, while also holding the family down behind the scenes. King has been building his own music path under the name Kid Sion, dropping singles and freestyles that reflect the world he was raised in. But no matter what he releases, the public still sees him first as T.I.'s son, the firstborn in a tight-knit family that moves together, especially when it comes to defending Tiny. He's spoken openly about the pressure of carrying his father's name, the expectations, the non-stop comparisons, the microscope on every move he makes. That's heavy for anybody. T.I.'s even said he sees parts of his younger self in King, especially the version that made the most mistakes. That's a loaded statement on its own, but here's the twist. King isn't just somebody's kid anymore. He's a father himself now, stepping into adulthood with real responsibilities on his shoulders. Now King has a son of his own, and he's spoken publicly about wanting to raise him with independence and toughness, the same traits his parents drilled into him growing up. That mindset runs deep in him. So when 50 Cent posted that unflattering photo of Tamaka Tiny Harris on his feed, King saw it as direct disrespect toward his mother, a woman he's publicly called a legend more than once. His reaction was instant and emotional. There was no strategy session, no PR call, no pause to calculate the fallout. He saw a man with millions of followers putting his mom on blast, and something inside him snapped. Any son would feel heated seeing that kind of public embarrassment aimed at their mother. The issue wasn't that he reacted, it was how far he took it. Instead of keeping the focus on 50's actions, or firing back about the Verzoos tension, or even just dropping sharp words in the comments, King went to the most painful place possible. He searched up the gravesite of 50's late mother and posted it online for the world to see. That's where the line got crossed for a lot of people. He even said, "I was raised different. I don't go by people's mamas." But there's a heavy layer of irony sitting on top of that statement. In the same breath, he told a man to dig up his deceased mother. That contradiction didn't go unnoticed. He tried to stand on moral ground while stepping into one of the most sensitive areas in hip-hop culture. Disrespecting someone's late parent is widely seen as off-limits. One YouTuber covering the situation understood King's anger but predicted there would likely be serious conversations happening behind closed doors about how that response played out. The commentator went on to say that T.I. and Tamika Tiny Harris would probably pull King aside behind closed doors and have a serious talk with him. Not for defending his mom, but for how far he took it. Because no matter how angry he felt, posting a gravesite is a line most families wouldn't publicly stand behind. Hip-hop has a long history of family members getting dragged into beefs. Tupac Shakur shocked the world when he claimed he had been with Faith Evans, the wife of the notorious B.I.G., on the track. Hit 'em up. Years later, Jay-Z went graphic about an alleged situation involving Nas' child's mother, Carmen Bryan, on Super Ugly. That move hit so wrong that Jay-Z's own mother reportedly called Hot 97 and pushed him to apologize publicly. Carmen Bryan has spoken about the fallout and the emotional damage that moment caused. And Jay-Z himself later admitted he regretted how he handled it. That emotional knee-jerk reaction, going after someone's family just to score points, came back around in ways that stuck to his reputation for years. The parallels here are hard to ignore. When emotions are blazing and someone feels like their family has been disrespected, the instinct is to escalate fast and hit hard. But what comes after that? Backlash, reflection, sometimes regret. Those usually end up louder than the original anger. Jay-Z learned that lesson the hard way in 2001. Whether King Harris learns it in 2026 is still up in the air. And while the internet was still reacting to King's grave post and heated videos, T.I. made his own move, dropping a diss track, while 50 seemed to just laugh it off. Late on February 22nd, rolling into the early hours of February 23rd, 2026, Ty hit the studio and put together a brand new diss track. He treated it like an official declaration of war. No sneak shots, no soft rollout, just straight pressure. The beat came from DJ Tump, the same producer behind some of T.I.'s biggest records like What You Know and Bring 'Em Out. That southern trap energy was all over it. Heavy bass, dark vibe, militant drums knocking hard. It sounded like a man who felt disrespected and wasn't laughing about it. I posted a preview straight to Instagram with a caption that hinted at war and added a duck emoji, a clear jab at 50 Cent, since he had been calling him a duck for supposedly dodging confrontation. That emoji wasn't random. That was layered shade. The snippet ran about 30 to 60 seconds, and T.I. was rapping with that sharp Atlanta cadence he's carried since his trap music era. The tone was aggressive, direct, and locked in. Even though the full lyrics weren't officially transcribed yet because it was just a preview, the message was obvious. He referenced ongoing disrespect, standing firm, and protecting his family at all costs. He didn't say 50's name outright in the clip, but nobody needed him to. Every blog, every comment section, every fan listening knew exactly who those bars were aimed at. The target was clear, and the temperature in this feud just jumped another level. Some people in the culture started speculating that the diss track might have already been sitting in the stash, maybe a leftover from T.I.'s upcoming album that he strategically pulled out because the moment was just too perfect to pass up. Others were convinced it was fresh out the booth, recorded in real time after seeing his son go off online. Either way, the timing felt intentional. Dropping a war-themed record just hours after your son posted a gravesite photo online doesn't look random. That kind of rollout feels deliberate, no matter how you slice it. The hip-hop community split right down the middle. On one side, fans saluted T.I. for handling it the way an MC traditionally does, through music. In rap culture, a diss track is the cleanest way to respond. You take that raw emotion and turn it into bars. You stamp it into the culture forever. People pointed to moments like Pusha T dropping the story of Adidon or Kendrick Lamar releasing Meet the Grams. In that tradition, T.I. stepping to the mic with a war record felt on brand. That's how rap beef has always been settled, with lyrics, not press conferences. But the other side wasn't impressed at all. A lot of commentators felt like the diss track came off as co-signing the chaos instead of calming it down. Instead of stepping in as a father and handling things privately, critics said it looked like he escalated it. Rather than pulling King aside and drawing a boundary, he turned the tension into a full musical moment. To some observers, it looked messy. The son firing off online, the father firing off on the mic. The whole situation felt like a full-court press from the Harris camp. Still, almost everyone agreed on one key detail, the spark that lit the fire. 50 Cent made the first move by posting that unflattering photo of Tiny. Before that, the back and forth had stayed mostly about music. Once family entered the chat, everything changed, and the temperature hasn't cooled since. For weeks leading up to this explosion, T.I. kept it strictly about Verzoos. He talked about hit records, stronger catalogs, legacy, stage presence. Not once did he drag 50 Cent's personal life into it. He didn't mention family. He didn't poke at street rumors. He didn't grab any of the easy low-blow angles that usually show up in a 50 Cent beef. He kept it music versus music until everything spiraled. Now the situation is bigger than just songs and stats. It turned personal fast, and the fallout is still unfolding. If you made it this far, make sure you like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and share it with somebody who's been following this drama. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. Catch you in the next one.